Hey guys, this is Hell Hades. This is a Raid Shadow Legends video. Guys, we're going to finally be testing the mighty UKKO. I did some testing last night on stream. We're going to be doing a full showcase of what this dude can do. Just before we do, quick YOLO. One last try for Theodore before the time runs out. Yowza. We carry on. We carry on. Yeah, so mighty UKKO came to the game, a couple of weeks ago as a Fusion Fragment champion, and finally picked him up on my main account. I'm not doing a pull-him yet on the free-to-play, so you're not going to see a showcase on the free-to-play yet. I'm going to wait until the next Fragment or Fusion pops up, and we will do a little bit of a free-to-play change there. Now, I did manage to get a 1-star awakening for this guy in the shop, so he's got 1 star on him. Not that it makes a massive difference. But mighty UKKO, what's going on? Honestly, one of the best fragments or fusions we've ever had. But not quite as crazy as I thought it was going to be. He's got an awesome kit. Didn't quite like his passive that much, and I'm going to show what's going on with his passive in this video. So we've got an AoE A1 decrease attack. Love this, especially when you pair it with another AoE on his A2, which removes 2 buffs from enemies. This is awesome in Arena. This is probably one of my favorite abilities of his, actually. Awesome in the Arena, awesome in Doom Tower waves, and great if you're against Hydra heads and they are actually either stealing your buffs or allowed to get their buffs going. So this is cool. The block buffs and decreased accuracy, also very cool. Means that you're going to tank that Head of Mischief's annoyance much better. And yeah, just generally like a really great skill. It's on a 4-turn, which is not super fast, but a very, very good skill. He's then got this A3, which is kind of like a watered down version of Duchess's Revive, I would say. It's a bit weird, right? So I feel like this champion is quite similar to Duchess. But whereas Duchess is all about team protection, mighty UKKO is almost like trying to nullify the enemy team. Duchess protect you. UKKO's about nullifying what you're up against. So almost like a reverse Duchess in a sense. But yeah, we've got this revive here, which also puts block damage out on your team, or the people that are revived. And if there's nobody dead, then it will still go off as just an increased speed buff. So you get some value, albeit, I mean, you'll see a Hydra run I did last night through this video, and this comes in clutch a lot of times in terms of just picking your team up, getting yourself back into the fight. Against Hydra specifically, when block damage is out there, those people have got an extra buff than what everyone else has got. So they will become like the Head of Mischief target, which can be a little bit annoying because all of a sudden it could steal block damage if you don't have these kind of block debuffs or block buffs on. Anyway, 3 great skills, okay? We've got a speed aura, which is fantastic. It's in all battles. It means you could just use mighty UKKO whatever you want. And I guess just to touch on blessings, I've picked cruelty here. I don't know if it's the right blessing, honestly. This gives me a chance for Hydra to reduce the Hydra head's defense by 1% per hit up to 5%. But because all of the hits are AoE, I'm actually dropping all of their defense with my hits. So I feel like cruelty could be pretty damn good. If I was to redo this, I could go with intimidating presence as a aura buff, which wouldn't be bad in all content. A 1-star one, though, doesn't really give me a lot of benefit. I could just go Brimstone for that extra kind of damage hit. So there's a few options here, but I've gone Cruelty because mainly I will use mighty UKKO in Hydra. Now let's talk about this passive. I'm going to show the passive in action because I think it's easier to show, but I read it originally as every time an enemy is buffed, I have a 50% chance to steal it. And then when I steal it, it's protected on me. It doesn't quite work like that. And I know Ray tried to clear it up in a recent Discord post, but I don't feel like the clearing it up has cleared it up. Because last night I was just kind of like, this doesn't make sense. What's going on? What it feels like happens to me is when an enemy places a buff across the team, you have a 50-50 chance of stealing one of that opponent's buff. So if 4 people get increased attack from Arbiter, mighty UKKO faces up with one of those enemies in a one-on-one and has got a 50% chance to steal that one buff. If someone's placing 3 buffs at a time, like a Sifi, then Mighty Uko faces up with one individual 3 times and has a 50-50 to steal the buff. If Stone Skin goes on at the start of a round on 3 people, is a 50-50 on 1 enemy, whether you steal Stone Skin or not. It's still cool, but it's nowhere near as powerful as I first thought it was going to be. And because of that, I actually reduced the arena ratings a bit on my website, because I just felt like originally I thought Mighty Uko was getting into the meta, especially in arena defense. Now I think could end up playing a decent role in arena defense as a reviver, with a good kit, a cleanse, enemy buffs whilst putting out block buffs. It's cool. But nowhere near as kind of like meta changing in the arena as I originally thought. I actually feel like now top tier in Hydra, really good in Ice Golem, good in Doom Tower Waves. Pretty solid actually, even against someone like the Griffin, I think. Putting block buffs out there, decrease attack. So quite a few Doom Tower bosses where I feel like you can get some benefit out of Mighty Uko. But yeah, mainly for me on my main account, this is going to be a Hydra champion. The Masteries then, I've gone for a War Master build. Again, this was like a Hydra build, and my build was high speed, good accuracy. These are the main stats. High speed, good accuracy, defensive stats. Yeah, it's a tank. You want it to stay alive because he is going to revive your team if other people drop. So you want for this to be basically the last champion alive, a bit like an Ugo. I've gone higher resistance here as well because on Hydra, I'm going to try and make this a person who mischief targets. Yeah, basically, if Hydra are placing buffs and we steal some, Uko should have more buffs than the rest of my team. So high resistance was important. I didn't really care about sets. It was more about stats. So I just did this with the optimizer to get to where we're at. I guess let's show a bit of arena content first, just so you can kind of see this buff interaction. So I'm quite high gold 5 here. I tested this last night as well in arena in plat against very good teams. If I was going like a pure arena build, I would forget that resistance. I'd be accuracy through the roof, like 600-700, high speed, same sort of stats in tankiness. But if we look at a team here where they'll be doing a fair amount of buffage. Look at this team here. Tichaz. Yeah, so we've got a lot of buffs here. We've got buffs here. We've got the shield initially here. And I'm going to play it on 1 speed so you can kind of see the interaction. But yeah, it was different to what I was expecting. So shield here. Do we steal it? 50-50 chance we do. But you notice we stole it off of Sifi here. Yeah, so we've got this stolen buff from Sifi. I didn't even have a go at trying to steal the rest. Yeah, it wasn't even an option. It was a 50-50 and I won. So I'm actually going to just put increased speed on me, mainly because I don't want to put block buffs out for a second. So increased speed on me. Arbiter goes. I didn't get the 50-50. Sifi goes. Oh, sorry, I did get the 50-50 off someone. Sifi goes with 3 buffs, and I didn't win that 50-50 with anyone on any of the 3. And then basically we're away and Rota starts going to work. So this ability here, this is the one I love. Yeah, that A2 is absolutely like monumental. Yeah, it's a fantastic skill. You saw how much there we just absolutely ruined their day by just cleaning those buffs off with that double hit. It's a really, really good skill. But yeah, the passive is not. And obviously the A1 is decent. Mighty Uko does not hit for large numbers. So Mighty Uko is in there to support your team. A bit like a Duchess, yeah? Duchess, it does not hit for big numbers. Mighty Uko is literally in there to ruin the opponent's day whilst supporting your team. Now, I will say, what we've just done there, our increased speed. I will say that I feel like Mighty Uko might get into some arena defense teams in that kind of annoying, we might steal the odd buff. We might just completely ruin their day. But that A2 is a colossal ability. Look at that. Just seen it at work there again. And now they've got block buffs on. Now they've got the decreased accuracy. And that, I think, is where this champion is still going to get plenty of, like, mid-tier. Anyone who's working their way through Gold 4, Gold 5, I think great champion for that. Yeah, for the majority of us, great champion. But in terms of that plat level play, I just don't think it's going to happen. Or if it does, I think it's going to be as an arena defense, annoying champion that might just force people to do slightly different things in terms of their offense. Let's take a look here, see if we've got any Stone Skin chaps in this one. So it doesn't seem to have a go after... Okay, there was a Stone Skin. We didn't steal it. We didn't win that fight, or we didn't choose to, whatever. We don't go after protected buffs. So bolster set is still a thing. And net crit's kind of protected buffs. We don't get in the mix on those. Let's see if I replay that, if I have a shot at stealing that Stone Skin second time round. But this is what I was doing on stream last night, just kind of like trying to work out exactly what was up for grabs. Again, it doesn't look like we either didn't go for it or we lost the battle. Try it one more. But definitely Stone Skin was available to be stolen. Try it one more. I wish I knew what was being attempted to be stolen, honestly. Because it doesn't feel like I ever steal this like immunity buff. I haven't seen it be stolen, but again, it might just be RNG. You know, how many times you need to do it before it actually registers. You see that they feel like they're already on, whereas Stone Skin is going on. I mean, if this is a 50-50 fight, you know, that's just very bad luck right now. Again. Don't know. Just, it's way weaker than I thought it was going to be, right? That's the main kind of takeaway from Arena, because I thought we were going to be wreaking havoc with the start of the fight. Yeah, the start of the fight when all of these buffs are going on, I thought we were going to have a good shot, 50-50, of stealing these buffs. Maybe my accuracy is too low. Maybe that's an accuracy check and I'm just missing it. But there's no resistance kind of message popping up here, which makes me think it's not a resist. It's just a straight, we're not getting it. But I mean, how many is that in a row that we're not getting any of those buffs? And I've 100%, I've seen it steal Stone Skin. So maybe it's something to do with the order of the enemy. Maybe because he's further back in the team, that's not the one we're trying to steal. But I mean, that's a lot now, right? That's a lot. So yeah, in Arena, I just don't think he is. He's either not working as intended, or he's just way, way weaker than I kind of originally thought he was going to be in terms of that annoying presence. Yeah, his A2, absolutely sweet, but that annoying presence, no, it's not doing the job. All right, we're going to run level 25 here. So we've got A1 decrease attack, love it. Actually, I don't need another decrease attack, so I'll take him out. Who can I throw in? Who can I throw in? Maybe we'll just throw in a Deke, even though Deke's wrong affinity. Could throw in a War Maiden, maybe. I don't know if my War Maiden is built. She's not. This will do. So, decreased defense over here. We've got block, revive on side adds if we get it away. We've got high HP hits plus stunnage, and then A1 decrease attack for the boss. We love it. And also decrease accuracy for the boss. We love that as well, by the way. Like, it just means that we're going to take less of those freezes. And all the time our team are kind of doing their job, we've got a chance, right? So if you don't have a Seer kind of clearing waves, if you don't have Poison Exploders clearing waves, then you have to go a bit old school and control the enemy. And that's where all this stunnage is coming from Husk and from Scylla the Drakes. Everyone else is in there just to try and blow them up as quick as they can. I'll get us onto the boss and kind of show you that part of the fight as well. Okay, so to see it straight away, actually, so we get an A1 away straight away. We didn't land it on the boss, but that A1 is going to come in pretty damn clutch when this boss starts coming at us, because decrease attack is probably the most important debuff to have out there if you're running this kind of comp, yeah, where you're not hoping that everybody dies. So other comps where everyone's going to die is different. Decrease accuracy is also a strong debuff here because you don't want to be taking those freezes. And then we're hoping that Phoenix gets a block revive against one of these side adds as soon as possible to just reduce the boss's damage. For every ad that's alive, you lose 50% of your defense. So one ad up at a time when he does his big hits like this, he's basically the equivalent of you being at 50% of your defense. If both ads are up, it's as if you've got 0 defense. But you see that revive coming in clutch. And then Syl's hopefully going to give us a bit of healing as she takes her turns. And we get a chance of a leech as well from our Deke, albeit he's not great for 25 because of affinity, because of weak hits and stuff. But this is where I say UKKO's kind of similar to Duchess in a way. Like, basically, UKKO is just your safety net. Yeah, just there to basically pick people up that are dropping and give you a chance to stay in the fight. Because this is probably one of the worst encounters to have like a full wipe. And even here, I'm actually close. These 2 block damages have been super clutch right now. So we're looking to get back round to our revive again. And I mean, if Phoenix would perhaps get his job done, we'd be in a better place. But there's the revive. And we need Phoenix to deal with one of these ads. Phoenix! I'm recording, didn't you realise? But yeah, you see the leech here was just kind of topping us back up. And we're kind of back into the fight where really it looks like it was an absolute wipe. Yeah, this decreased attack, if that's not on right now, it is a wipe. 100%. It's tight though. It is actually a bit tight. It's a bit tighter than you would like. Phoenix, look at this one. Juicy over here. Get it dead. Get it dead. Thank you. And then from now on, it's an easy fight because one of the ads is never coming back. But yeah, that's basically what UKKO's going to bring you for Ice Golem. And I think pretty much top tier for this fight because there's just so much in the kit. If you were specifically looking to specialize here, then you probably would be using a regen set on your UKKO just to make sure that your UKKO stays topped up on health and higher health than what I've got here. But basically, hard carried this fight in really a team that should not be winning. And hopefully Husk will just be like laying the nuke to finish it off. Or nearly. Bam, done. So it's slow. I'm not saying this is a team you should run. I'm just saying that UKKO is bringing actually a lot of stuff if you wanted to take this on. So we're just going to finish the video by showing you some Hydra content from last night's stream. And honestly, this is where I think this dude is going to take, going to get the most playtime. I think it's just his best spot. Will be decent for Iron Twins, but Iron Twins is so damn tough unless you've got a block damage team or an unkillable team, and he doesn't fit into that. If you're running normal Iron Twins, decreased attack, decreased accuracy are both really valuable skills to have. But yeah, for Hydra, we had Mighty UKKO in this build. I had 5 constants, and then I switched 2 champions. I did 2 runs. So we had Mighty UKKO, we had Mithrala in there giving me shields and some poison. I had in there Husk for AoE damage. So my Husk was in a reflex set, capped crit rate with 2/1/2 crit damage and quite survivability kind of build. Yeah, decent accuracy to be able to land provoke on the head of Decay as well. We had a Tumisia in there for damage, for burns. Again, pretty decent tanky type of build. A bit of a lot of damage. Not crit capped. For my shame, I didn't have much silver left to change the build around. Because it's usually used for Spider. We had Kantra in there as a sort of second provoke champion with a bit of damage. But again, decent survivability. Not crit capped. 374 accuracy. First would have in my team. Yeah, and then I switched 2 out. So for the first run, I had a Lydia bringing me drop defense and weaken. Trouble is, Lydia's buffs kind of like duplicate some of the stuff we already had. So we've already had a strength from Mithrala. We already had an increased speed from Mighty UKKO. But this was my first run with Lydia. And in the second run, I switched Lydia out because I didn't have any kind of natural healing to Hanorach. And we're going up against Brutal in these runs. I'll show you kind of bits and bobs from those 2 runs. And you can see the work that Mighty UKKO puts in against Hydra. I'm going to be doing it semi-auto. I'm going to set it up, let it run. If it looks like it's going to shit, then I'm just going to take over for a bit. I'm going to click when there's a head being eaten, all that type of stuff, yeah? So we'll see how this does. And I'm also, like, yeah, I fight normal and I fight hard. I very rarely, if ever, fight brutal. So this is new for me as well. Once you get a Trizia, brutal becomes a cakewalk. Yeah, and the rest of it, right? Okay then, let's try again. Now Brimstone out there as well. Now I can go for the nuke straight away. Almost double the damage on the nuke. It's pretty special. Pretty good. Get the burns out as well. And then I think we're good to go auto. I'll go auto. I'll take over a bit as and when I need to. Has UKKO been nicking loads of buffs? So far, we've not seen UKKO have a chance to nick a buff. And I don't, honestly, with this team, it's a nice hit, isn't it? There shouldn't be a lot of chance to steal buffs back, honestly. I don't really want to see this, though. This low buffs over here, or low debuffs, sorry, is actually not good. My Cantra relies on there being 5 debuffs out there. Before she has a turn, we need there to be 5 to have the chance to do the provoke. So we get the full cleanse out. That's actually pretty crap. There you go. Maybe that's why I should be using War Chief, right? Andy McConnell, thank you for the sub, mate. Just realised I can do this via Prime. Thanks, buddy. So far, so good. I guess the heads haven't started getting silly yet. We're not really healing a ton. Guess I don't have anyone with leech, do I? Basically relying on Mithrala to do all of our protection here. That's the first time that Poison Cloud's got through. This is it. I mean, just running auto. Obviously, you're susceptible, or you're putting yourself under. You're putting yourself under the risk of more crap getting through. But also, I don't want to be manualing, 3 Hydra fights a week, honestly. Sometimes I'll do one. Oh, we did. Yeah, we stole the protected increase attack from the Head of Wrath. And we've stolen a protected block debuffs. Fair enough. The 50-50 is coming in clutch. Not because I need the increased attack, because I don't want him to have it. It's actually pretty cool. Burns are out there. That's good. I need that damage. Cantra can hit through, or doesn't weak hit, so we're not worried about that. See how the damage just kind of slows down? We're just struggling. Oh, man, this UKKO's going to be dead. $26 mil. How would you add healing into this comp? I mean, there's a couple which could be switched around a bit, I guess. You either get someone in who's got a leech, or you bring someone in who's just got some type of heal. So Tahanaraki is actually decent in this comp. I don't know who I guess if you bring in Ugo instead of Mighty UKKO, then you get leech, which gives you your healing. This is going to be run over. Very close to 1 key, actually. Really close. What if UKKO was in regen and immortal? Yeah, I guess that would give UKKO healing. It would let the rest of the team get some healing, though. 29.1. Damn, that's actually pretty damn pretty close, right? Plus 7.6. Lydia 3.2. Was it 250,000 off? Ah, that's harsh, isn't it? That's actually harsh. Should we go for one more run? Go with Tahanarak, seeing as we've already built her out. Let's try it. Let's try it. Okay. What blessing would you put on Cupidus for primary damage? I think anyone like a Cupidus, you just go Soul Reap. Unless you're running him like specifically for Hydra, then maybe you would go for Brimstone. Or you could go for something like Cruelty, I guess, but probably Brimstone for like guaranteed damage. You could even go Phantom Touch, which, by the way, does like insane damage. Like Phantom Touch for the rare one is kind of ridiculous. So the first team we had, we didn't really have any healing going on. We just had Mithrala's like shieldage. So that was our weakness. This team, we've got a little bit of healing from Tehanarak, but I just feel like the debuffs are nowhere near as consistently on. I guess this team's doing what we wanted it to do, right? It's more stable, but there's less damage. More stable, less damage. Bruised it as well. Look, guys, 31 mil here. I think we're going to get Big Boy out again. Actually cruised it easy. Did you take part in the Plarium Challenger proving DK is better than Ultimate DK? No, I didn't, no. Ain't nobody got time for that. I imagine it would have been fun to do, actually, but I didn't do it. Damn, there you go. 2.3 million from Mighty UKKO. 4 mil from Mithrala. She had some poison damage going on. UKKO done, I mean, UKKO's a support in this, right? And did like a little decent amount of damage, I'd say. Us coming in with nearly 11. Tunisia coming in at 14. Mithrala picked up damage from hexes as well. Right, okay. Yeah, Tehanarak obviously in there mainly to protect and stuff as well. So you have it, guys. Mighty UKKO, definitely a top tier champion. Not quite to the levels that I originally thought he was going to be, but still like an absolute must build for your account. And, you know, in terms of even stuff I've not shown here, like high-level Doom Tower Waves, Faction Wars, going to be absolutely top draw. There you go, guys. I've been Hell Hades. I'll see you later.